He's been called a genius. He's been called a disruptor and a cheat, from controversial kickoffs to lineup mauls out of nowhere. Rassie Erasmus, he is tearing up the rugby playbook. But is he changing the game? Or is he just gaming the rules? World Rugby has raised eyebrows. Opponents are furious. Fans are split. But look, is Rassie Erasmus the greatest tactical mind rugby has seen? Or is he just crossing the line too much? I want to hear what your guys' thoughts, and I want to ask the question. So please like, subscribe. It really, really does help the channel grow. And let's get into it. Now, Rassie, he's very much been in the spotlight, especially now more than ever. And I think he does kind of like it. He definitely seems like a kind of person that is willing to go against the grain. He doesn't want to conform to normality, and he will do whatever is physically possible and whatever might be in the gray area to get something out, to get the best out of whether it's his team or a result. Now, some, it irks them, they get furious. Some are happy with it because it's getting results and it's helping the future of the Springboks. So it comes down to your perspective on the matter. But when we look into a couple recent, let's say, issues, or certain bits of controversy of late, we look at the kickoff up against Italy, right? We take this into context, and we really look into it. There's a couple different things that are at play here, and then we look at a couple different things like the line-out maul that has people absolutely reeling. Some of them are saying it's bad for the sport, and some of them say it's a cheat. I mean, we look at the bomb squad, people still are not over the bomb squad, saying that it is not in the heart of the game, and, it's bad for the game, and, it's just one of these things, right? Rassie Erasmus, he has really, really built a system around him. He's built the Springboks from the ground up. He's given the best staff that the staff could be, from Jaco Paper, who is an absolute mastermind and an ex-referee. So he's definitely a specialist in something that Rassie is looking for, hence the kickoff controversy. But then you have players, coaching staff like Felix Jones, that is an absolute monster. He is so, so good. And then obviously there was the big scandal about him going abroad and coming back relatively soon, saying that Rassie sent him out there on a spy mission, like he's part of the MI7. I don't know. I just feel that there's always controversy when it comes down to Rassie. Whether he did it, I don't know. And I don't think many people will know. But am I upset that Felix Jones is back with the Springboks? No. I'm actually really, really happy. So you look at a lot of staff and you look at, what they are building. There's a lot to be, to have hope for. And there's a lot of promise here. But is Rassie treading those gray areas a little bit too much, right? I do want to go into the whole kickoff controversy and the lineup mauls. And like I say, I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. So we look at the kickoff controversy where Mani Libok, he kicked short, right? And then Esterhazen, he was offside, ran off early, and that kind of set a lot of pressure on the ref, first of all, and then second on Italy. The Springboks, we all know, love to have scrum domination. They will happily opt for a scrum wherever possible. But is this Rassie taking those matters into his own hands and now forcing it and giving the referee more than enough reasons of a different penalty situation, that he is now forcing the referee to make a decision that would positively impact the Springboks? I think so. Is it a bit of genius by, in a certain sense, confusing the ref? I don't know. But it definitely does have people thinking. What was Rassie Erasmus' thoughts? And how much did Jaco Paper have to do with this? Because he understands the laws of the game very, very well, right? So there's a million and one different laws around this on whether a player it's intentional, right? Whether it is accidental, but from looking at it, unfortunately, I cannot show you in fear of having the video taken down because of copyright. So please, if you guys do want to check it, there's 900 different video clips of it out there. In my opinion, personal opinion, um, it was 100% deliberate. Um, but again, it is very much a gray area. They are essentially forcing a penalty on them that would benefit them, right? And albeit because of what happened, the Italians, by all means, they could have chosen to have the kick retaken, but they didn't. They opted to have They opted to have a scrum, which falls well within the Springboks parameters. But looking at it again, to me, yes, you could say Manny Libok, he miskicked it. And we all know Manny Libok's kicking of late. But he's improved. The ball was far too short. And the ball went straight to Andreas Reisen's hands, which, looking at Andreas Reisen, I do believe he was intentionally running into that path early. Are players often offside? Yeah, you will find it within a general game. But all of these circumstances happening together, I do feel this was intentionally caused by the Springboks. A, to confuse the ref into making a decision, but also to force Italy's hands into going for a scrum. Again, falls directly into South Africa's hands. So, what are your thoughts on it? Was this a mistake by Manny Libok and things accidentally happening? Or was this full foul play? And should the Springboks have been sanctioned more because it was intentional? All right. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is one essence of, or one part of Rassie's intuitive thinking, his ability to think outside of the box, his ability to use the rules to his own advantage, and using things like human error to his own advantage as well. Stress. There are so many different emotions that could potentially be used. And these are all things that I think Rassie Erasmus and his coaching staff has really maximized to get the best result. This is a scary South Africa. And it's a South Africa that needs to be watched out for because there are a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that most of us can't even fathom that's going to happen. Something like this, using the rules to their own advantage. Let me know your thoughts. Then we move into the line-out maul, right? So again, this isn't something that really, really happens a lot. We have seen Razor, Scott Robinson. He was actually in praise of it, and he was fully understanding because of his time in France. But Rassie, he originally got this idea from, I believe it was the under 12s, under 14s Springboks. That no, it was one of the schools. I completely forgot the school's name right now, but it was from one of the schools, one of the juniors, that he saw this happen. And naturally, with Rassie, his brain, he thought, okay, first of all, a player cannot be tackled whilst in the air. Secondly, none of the players in the support can be touched while there is a player in the air and in the process of lifting another player. How can he now use this to his own advantage? Rassie Erasmus found this. He found a way, and he found a way to use it on the biggest stage. It is something that benefit them quite heavily, and when you're dealing with the best players in the world, this is definitely something to be looked at. And like I say, Rassie, he thinks outside of the box. He doesn't think in normal terms. It's going to catch everybody off guard, as it did. Nobody was expecting that, and I think this definitely will have a lot of teams on their best foot up against South Africa, trying to figure out what is going to happen, because anything is possible, especially with the Springbok coaching staff. Is this Rassie Erasmus being too what's the word for it? Too creative at points, I guess. He definitely doesn't want to. He definitely doesn't want to go with the grain. He wants to go against it. He wants to find different ways around it, and we've seen this so many times. Whether he's voicing his, voicing his actions or voicing his feelings, at World Rugby, at certain rules and regulations, things that are stupid, he will happily say it up front. But this gets Rassie into some problems, and he gives him a bit of a split in terms of people that like him and really hate him. I don't think there are many Springboks that can say that they disagree with Rassie because of the results that he is getting. But at points, you got to think, how far is too far to the point where it's going to start negatively affecting the Springboks? Everything is going relatively well right now. But at what point is he going to step from the grey into the black, right? This is where I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Do you think he is trying to innovate too much that might eventually end up negatively impacting the Springboks? Or do you see this as genius, changing and using the rules that people so easily overlook to their own advantage? We've seen this multiple times, right? Rassie really making the most out of every single word and wording of a set rule to rule in his favor. There are a lot of points here. And there's always going to be controversy about Rassie, whether it's his coaching staff, whether it's his attacking styles, whatever it is. When you are the best, there are always going to want to be people that hate on you and people that disagree with you. Hence the bomb squad. People still to this day feel that it is unfair. It goes against the essence of the game. Everybody was playing a 5-3 split. He's the first person that truly came out and dominated with a 7-1 split or a 6-2 split. Yes, it has been done in the past, but the Springboks really made it iconic. They made it their style, their system. When you hear of the bomb squad, you think of the Springboks. You think of those forwards that are going to be coming on around the 50th minute that is now ready to absolutely destroy everybody and anybody that comes into their path. What can be done, right? You can either moan and whine about it, or you can find a way to deal with it. We've seen the French recently start to adopt this as well in the Six Nations. They love to play their 7-1 and 6-2 splits, which actually did them very, very well and ultimately ended up winning them the Six Nations. But what's happened? Is Rassie a genius and a tactical mastermind? Or is he just a kook and taking things too far? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Please like, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.